Welcome to STS26, in which we take a leap of faith.
Yeah, alright, I'll give it that.
You'll give me that one? You'll give me that one?
Credit where it's due.
I'll put my stamp of approval on that.
So, we'll file it. We'll file it. Okay. So, of course, you can tell what that's in, you know,
if you can't,
prediction 2 that's coming on later in the episode.
Yeah.
If not, you are stupid and blind.
Uninformed and need to go look on a shelf.
So, Surge, Fluke, no Kel.
No.
Kel is entertaining visitors.
Yeah, otherwise indisposed.
So check him out. So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, bad. Quite tired, to be fair. Been up quite a lot. Been working on another side projects and stuff. As well as playing far too much MechWarrior for longer hours than I should.
What he's trying to say is that he's got out of his chair for once and finally moving around the house.
Yeah, I've been fixing the bathroom and all sorts of stuff. Actually getting that finished.
Your roof's not fixed yet, though,
no,
is it?
No, we need to get more people in and poke it at it and give us a price for it and other nasty things like that. Horrifying things.
Have they given you a rough estimate of price on it?
No, we've only had one guy actually come out and look. Everybody we ring seems to be busy. Hey ho. Time you get to get your roof replaced, apparently.
Christmas is the time for giving.
Everybody's had the first bit of rain and going, holy crap, there's a big hole in the roof, better get that fixed before the snow gets here.
No man, it's cold. That's what it is.
Too right, because my machine's up
freezing. Yeah, freezing friggin' cold. So, Mr. Surge, how are you?
Oh, I'm not bad. Like Luke said, just been going around fixing the bathroom, but he's been doing that mostly. What I've been doing, though, is mostly sat downstairs on consoles.
Playing on a Wii,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, on the subject of consoles, I've been playing way too much of the Xbox. So my week of playing, you'll be happy to know before we go anywhere with the playings of the week. I didn't pick up FIFA this week. Didn't play it at all.
I'm impressed.
Nope. And I also forgot to mention last week that I did actually complete Hotline Miami.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
I completed it about a week and a half ago. I think I completed it last weekend.
It's been a while since you've actually completed a game.
It's interesting, the ending, and I'm going to ignore that one because I'm happy in the fact that I've completed more games than Jay, my housemate. So
yeah,
you know.
Jay spends most of his life in WoW on account of it being essentially free to play on his account.
He does play games, but he stops near the end. Like, he got all the way to the end of like Dragon Age 1. He got just before the last fight and then stopped.
Why?
I don't know. He just stopped. He started playing it again, and then he never finished it. See, like, I create games that are too difficult that I end up running out of time. He gets all the way to the end and then just kind of wanders off. He's like, I could end this game, but
I could save the day,
purgatory.
But
his little Alistair in Dragon Age 1 is just stood there looking at the dragon and just going, what are you waiting for?
Jay's gone off over the hill chasing a shiny squirrel or something.
Oh no, it's do you remember the advert of the Scalextrics guys going around and like the kid gets up and stops just before the line and the car is stopped like just in front of the line.
Oh yeah.
And the driver's just kind of sat there looking at it. It's that moment.
Frustration.
Crystallized. Like Jay's playing he's playing Dishonored a lot at the moment, and I don't know why I'm talking about his playings. He's playing a lot of Dishonored, and I just imagine him getting
about what he's been playing.
Yeah, getting up near the end. Yeah, to STS26, in which we discuss Jay's gaming habits. But so I actually stopped playing Dishonored and started playing Assassin's Creed, and I'm doing my usual weird thing. If I'm playing Assassin's Creed 2 and 3 at the same time. And I have no idea why. But I don't want to talk about Assassin's Creed, you know. I've also been playing... I bought the new wrestling game, WWE 13. And we also picked up a copy of Resident Evil 6.
Any good?
Resident Evil 6 is so horrifyingly bad, I cannot actually put into words how bad it is. I can only simply say the word... dicks.
So it's bad then?
It's buggy, it's filled with wonderful QuickTime events, it's buggy, It has way too many QuickTime events. It's buggy. Did I mention the QuickTime events?
What you're trying to say here is that it's buggy and full of QuickTime events.
The game does have some good things going for it though. Like if you are a Resident Evil fan, you might like it. Like Jay seems to be in that state of my god, this is so terrible, and yet he's completed like one of the campaigns. Like I'm watching him play it mainly, and like because we were trying co-op. This is one thing that I'm gonna mention now because Xander's gonna rant about this for the next 20 minutes. So prepare yourself, man. Prepare yourself for this one.
Are your lines?
Right? Gloves are on. Ready?
Yeah.
Right. So, Resident Evil 6's co-op is split screen. Fine and dandy for the moment. Yeah.
So far, so good.
It then splits it horizontally, so top and bottom.
Good. That's the good kind of split screen.
It then takes your screen size and pulls it in. So you have black edges around everything on your screen, and then it will keep top on like top left and bottom on like bottom right. So there is this little black bar either side. So they're like two kind of disjointed diagonals.
It's a style feature.
And then it doesn't utilize this black space for anything. And it also like affects the brightness of the game. Like me and Jay couldn't play it on co-op because it was just too dark to see what the ever-living buggery was going on.
LCDs have a dynamic contrast ratio, and with most of the screen being black, it can't display bright enough colours. Nice. They didn't take that into account, did they?
Is that in layman terms?
So
you can only display a given range of brightnesses at the same time.
Yeah,
so
right.
if you've got to display lots of black, you can't turn on lots of white LED, essentially.
Alright. So basically it was bad.
So
terrible.
Yeah. So I gave up playing it co-op, and we both decided to start playing it solo. And like the Leon campaign has way too many cliches. It's as if they basically went, right, okay, we have 3 campaigns here, guys. Let's take each one of them as their own individual game. Not necessarily because that means we get to focus on the story and making a solid campaign out of it, but that way we get to fit more cliches into each one with the cliche quota.
Must have been an extensive list. One of those ones where you just unfurl it and it rolls across the floor down the stairs.
The game does, however, do one thing fantastically. It proves something that me and Xander mentioned all the way back in the Dead Horde video that we did.
It was a while ago.
Which is that helicopters are allergic to zombies.
Helicopter just has to be able to see a zombie and it develops an engine fault.
The start of the way, I'm not going to discuss the campaigns too much because spoilers, but I will say there is a fantastic moment in Leon's campaign that you get to see twice. And it happens once at the start, and then I think you end up catching up, because there's a flashback. So you end up catching up with yourself.
Right.
And then you go a little bit further. And the moment is, you're in a helicopter, bad things are happening to the helicopter, and then he tries to stop it from crashing, and ends up grinding it against the side of a goddamn train. And then crashes it into a building and survives.
Not the best pilot.
It's just like the bit where he's grinding it, like where it's scraping against the edge of the train, is the one that got me. It's just like I am
lost for words.
But no, it's horribly buggy. Like the moment that seems to be the most frustrating. There's a bit where you have to climb up a rope in a shitty QuickTime event. And I'm going to mention this one again. Don't care about spoilers on this one because it's so shitty it needs to be mentioned. Which is, you have to climb a rope. You do this by left trigger, right trigger, because you're climbing with your hands.
Fair enough. Right. Average QuickTime event.
However, it will randomly decide to throw you down it. At least it seemed to randomly decide to throw down it. And it also didn't like when you tried to climb the rope the conventional way, which is left over right, over left, over right. It apparently weirds out occasionally on this one and threw off the rope many a time. Apparently, gym class is a bitch, even in a zombie apocalypse.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed is...
Just sounds like, reminds me of the Raccoon City thing we did.
Operation Raccoon City.
Because that was just as horrendous.
That just looked like complete drivel.
To which the great thing about Operation Raccoon City that I saw was someone was like, hey, they patched it. It's not bad anymore. And it's like, I don't know. You can polish a turd. It's still a turd.
Yeah. No matter how much you polish.
No.
Yeah.
But I seem to have been playing all the QuickTime events. Like WWE 13 is essentially a QuickTime simulator. You do a wrestling move by pressing 2 buttons and then you watch the move happen. If you're having a move done to you, you push a button at the right time to reverse it. It's essentially QuickTime.
QuickTime events.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a QTE game.
Anyway.
But, yeah, I managed to like get all the way through like the campaign, and it's pretty good for a wrestling game. The campaign is goddamn awesome.
Yeah. You haven't been playing
the rest of the game around it.
You haven't been playing all the QuickTime event games though, because I know that you have been playing the new Need for Speed as well as me. We've both been playing that one.
I did, and that one is a horribly depressing one. I want your thoughts on this one first. Let's go with you, because you have better things to say on it.
I've only seen it. I haven't played it. I've watched Serge play it.
You've watched me abuse it.
Yeah, so I'm not... I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because I don't think it's fair. I think I'm obviously biased, because I played... I've been playing Need for Speed. The first one I ever played was Need for Speed 2 when I got my 3DFX Voodoo 2 on day of release. I got the 3DFX version of Need for Speed 2.
Back when wheels were a cool thing.
And I was driving the Ford Indigo around Australia. It was brilliant.
No. I don't care about your bias today. This isn't a review show. This is STS. You're allowed to sit here and
an
just
atrocious
talk.
Abomination and a nail in the coffin for the franchise.
They have brutalized the Need for Speed franchise, in my opinion. But Serge, like I was talking to Serge and I was just like, I don't like it, and Serge was like, it has some good things going for it, and then everything he said to me that was a good thing was a negative thing. It was like, I don't get.
Even when I try to be
really
negative,
good.
positive, it's negative.
He's trying his best to love it, but can't.
That's the thing.
So this is
because like I have a long-standing history with the Burnout series, which is another series that Criterion made, because they were the ones that made this iteration of Most Wanted, and it harkens back to Burnout Paradise City, but that's not a good thing because I've already played Paradise City. I'm trying to think of another game. I had a great analogy. I was talking to you about it the other day, Dave. I had a great analogy for it. It's like, yeah, they took they took the old Most Wanted, the first one, with the awesome police chases and the car customization and all that stuff, and they meshed and they bred it with Burnout Paradise, and they created this.
However, they were brother and sister.
Yeah, they made this kind of mule infertile child that sort of didn't fit in with the crowd. It doesn't really accomplish anything, and everything is too easy.
Yeah. The issue for me was like I loaded up the game and I was like, Need for Speed. I'm gonna sit down. That was actually the reason why I went and got Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed 3 and wrestling, was because I picked up Need for Speed and was like, yeah, Need for Speed. Oh, I've been looking forward to this game. We've seen it at Expos. We've seen the the preview stuff of it and all the press releases and everything that they've sent us, and it looks amazing. Yeah. And then I loaded it up and I realised what had gone wrong.
You know you're in for an interesting experience when the opening cutscene runs at about 10 FPS on the Xbox.
Oh no. So the hilarity for me was that everything we saw at Expos and everything we saw on show floors and all that kind of stuff was all multiplayer.
Yeah. Oh god.
And the multiplayer is amazing.
Multiplayer is funny as hell. I have a story to tell about that later.
The multiplayer is brilliant. I tried the multiplayer out. I loved it. And yes, I will admit as well that I'm finally using Origin. A game has finally come along. I was willing to get Origin.
Yeah, and now you regret it.
You have to log into Origin on the Xbox.
I do.
What?
But so, I loaded it up. The multiplayer is brilliant, amazing. Yeah. But I mentioned this to you, Serge. Like you load up the single player, and you get the chick talking, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like for voiceovers,
You get
pretty
that
much the chick
generic
and pops,
racer chick talking. I'm starting to get sick of the generic racer chick, to be honest. You know, I just want someone
I know,
telling
right?
me things.
But the first car that they throw you into is a fancy car.
They start the game
then-
in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage. That's a supercar.
The next car I got was
I remember
a Merc.
getting the first Most Wanted game in a Golf GTI. Admittedly, I did upgrade the Golf GTI and it became an unstoppable monster, but it was a Golf GTI.
like-
it was not a V12
Okay,
Vantage.
So I got a BMW and a Merc.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first car that you got, or
The
like
first-
the second?
Well,
car
the first
that you
car
got?
that you get is the Porsche Carrera, because that's the one they
Yeah.
force you to get into. But immediately
Yeah.
after that, I drove off and I found my Dodge Viper, the new Dodge Viper they brought
Yeah.
out.
So the first car that he found of his own free will, Xander, was a Dodge Viper. First one I found was a Merc, and I found, I think, a Beamer after it. Or
So
a
are they
Beamer
random?
first.
Or is
They're
it...
not random. You
no.
find them in the world. They're kind
Right.
of
Yeah,
So they're
you,
just
you
hidden,
find these things
or-
not. But the
Or
issue
they're
is,
just sat
you know,
by the side of
I'm,
the road, like, hey look,
well,
car.
yeah, I'm 10 minutes into the game, and I'm driving around in a car that, for every previous Need for Speed game that has come before this
you
one,
had to put in
essentially
a
is an
good
end game
few
car.
hours in, yeah.
Yeah, there's no progression, there was no money involved, there was no upgrading my car, there was no working my ass off to try and get up to that point.
Instant
It was
gratification.
instant
yeah.
gratification.
Shakes.
Yeah.
See, I want it now on the Gimme Gimme Squad, ruining another franchise.
No, I don't think it's them doing it. I believe it's the other way
Well-
around. They went to create something that was Burnout Paradise in the Need for Speed world, and they went wrong. Because they neglected to realize that the thing that, well, I'm speaking from my experience here,
Yeah.
so the thing that I personally like, I'll word that correctly before anyone jumps on me for it. The thing I personally like about the Need for Speed series is the progress and working up and the story that comes with it. There is a story in all the goddamn Need for Speed games. Yes, some of them are pretty bare bones, but there's not even a story in this one. It's here is a list to get to the top.
Here's a list, get to the top, drive in these cars, do these races, take out these people. Congratulations, you win, have a nice car.
And the worst thing about it is they're like, but you've got, you know, Most Wanted, you've got the cops, they're back.
Oh, no.
They're just like the original. No, I ploughed into the arse end of a cop car. Like, the first thing that Most Wanted taught me about car chases, the original one, was that if you are trying to get through a roadblock and the cops are blocking
Hit the
off
rear
road,
end.
aim for the gap and go for the rear end of the cars.
Yeah.
They're
They're heavier
lighter,
at the front
there's
end,
no
maybe,
engine in them,
yeah.
don't hit the front. Yeah, don't hit the front of the car. There's an engine. It's heavier. It's a bad
Yeah.
thing. Go for the end, clip the back of the car, spin it out, and go through the gap. I tried that in the new Most Wanted. I totaled my car.
I also...
However,
Go on.
it gets better. However, I then decided that I would try and, I came up against the roadblock next time, and I was like, okay, sod it. I'll just spin round and go the other way. The cops are starting to freak out. So I ended up driving in a circle. Apparently, the police can be outsmarted by someone that is a NASCAR driver.
I was doing circles for ages yesterday with about 8 cop cars trying to follow me. They just kept crashing into each other and totaling each other. It was hilarious.
Yeah, game can't handle somebody that drives in a circle.
The
What's that all
police,
about?
that's another thing that really irks me about this, is that they call it Most Wanted, but the original police in Most Wanted were terrifying later on. They were
Yes.
a right nuisance. You know, they brought out a helicopter, they had, you know, the elite units, spike strips, everything.
You
They
did
had
silly things like
tactics.
drove in a circle. They just pushed you towards the nearest hard object and pinned you there. It was like,
Box you in,
well, balls.
These guys, you just have to do a U-turn in front of a roadblock and they'll just drive straight into the roadblock and take it out for you. Interesting story. About 3/4 of the way...
Go on then, we need to move on after
Yeah,
this. So go
about
on.
3/4 of the way up the heat tree thing bar for the cop chasers, they send out the Rhino sub units, which are, you know, the big dudes that decide to ram you off the road. Took one of those head first in the road and totaled it. I was fine, it got totaled. I then skidded a little, went round the corner, went into the arse end of a civilian pickup truck and totaled myself.
Yeah, It's disappointing. It's horribly disappointing. But I must admit, it's a great thing because it brought to my attention, you know, WW13, which I wasn't going to pick up yet, and Resident Evil 6, and Assassin's Creed 3, and Assassin's Creed 3 blew my mind.
Really?
There is a part near the beginning of the game that if you've played it, everyone will instantly know which part you're on about. Like, if you've played it, you'll be like, ah, yes, that part. And so I'm not going to mention it because it's amazing. But there is a part that even if you are trying to work out every angle for the game, you know, if you're going through going this, and this, I bet this, I bet that, I bet this, I bet that, you get so involved and engrossed in the game that there's a part of it that hits, and like I didn't see it coming. The guy that was watching at the time didn't see it coming. Like I've seen people on Twitter that were like, I didn't see that coming. Everyone was just
bird
like,
outside
bam.
on a tree. I didn't see that coming.
However, for everything great that they do, unfortunately they do something bad as well, which is you play as Connor, this Native American guy. Just as a quick ending point on the Assassin's Creed 3 one. And it's like, okay, you do this whole stuff as like the prologue and the story and everything, what blah 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 blah, and then you get like, you know, Connor being an assassin and everything, and he gets his assassin kit, you know, the outfit, that moment, and it's like you're finally given your outfit and it's brilliant, and then there's a Desmond section.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I hate you, Desmond. You're a fuck.
Longest running character, most hated character.
I know, right? But anyway, so let's move on. Sand, like you've been quite quiet there.
Yeah, I haven't been playing a great deal. I mean, played a bit of Mario. We got Mario Party 8 for
we did.
Wii, and give that a whirl. And I played some of the earlier Mario Party games. I think they missed some words from the title. This should have been something more like Mario Wine and Cheese Party or Mario Social Gathering. It was. They've put so many stupid little animations in and stretched everything out to make it take longer. Artificial time sync, because it's cheaper than content. And it just makes the whole thing so slow.
No, the thing is that the content is all still there. It still plays exactly like the other Mario parties. It's just slower.
Yeah, there was nothing there in the original ones as well, dude. I think you're giving them a bit too much credit. The only thing that was in the original Mario Party games was how to destroy friendships.
Yeah, I'll give them that. Doesn't change the fact that they're fun for one person. Me.
Yeah, they're fun for whoever's winning.
Yeah, we just started ganging up on Surge by about halfway through. It became obvious what was going on, so it was like, well, we'll just gang up on Surge, because... And he still won.
I still won.
Like, with random bonus stars at the end, man. Seriously. Rigged. It was a rigged contest.
Of course it was rigged. I was there.
I hate the Mario Party games. I absolutely despise them with a fiery,
I'm
burning
rapidly
passion.
growing to be the same.
So, apart from that, the video playing in the background, of course, is NS2.
It is our
you
game
guys
of the
had
week.
the event on Sunday. I wasn't there. I went out for food. How was it?
Good.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a fair few people from the community, as well as a couple of random people, because we hosted a private public server.
We tried to get a private one working, but I couldn't quite get it to host properly as a listen server can get people to connect. So we just invaded a random server, so we get inevitable randoms joining. But it actually helped us along, because they knew a lot more than we did.
Yeah, the random people were actually really helpful. The game's got a really good community for going for it.
Yes, it
It
does.
always has had, though. It's always been one of the strong points of natural selection is its community.
Yeah. We had a good...
Which is nice, given the complexity of the game.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
It's very, very complicated. We reckon next week's probably be a lot better, because it took us a long time for all of us to figure out quite what we were doing, really.
Yeah.
So there were other things we wanted to mention, or I wanted to mention, but all of them we're now going to run out of time for, unless I send you away to get more footage.
Do some more NS2 footage.
No. We're hitting the end of the timer on this one anyway, so we'll start wrapping this up. I will say, however, though, that I'm super excited for Black Ops 2 this week.
Are you?
Yes, I am. I don't know
No,
why.
me neither.
I'm not like, you know, I'm not a COD fan. I'm not one of these people that like picks them all up and is like, they're the greatest game ever.
Yeah.
I like my shooters though, and the amount of changes they're making to Black Ops, like, I just want to try them. I think that's what it is. It's that anticipation of,
Ooh, new
wow,
things.
they're trying so many things. like the Pick 10 system.
I will admit the Pick 10 system does look pretty good.
I just want to get hands-on, and you know, we got hands-on at events and stuff with it, and oh, it felt so good. But I want to get hands-on and be able to do it on my own terms.
Yeah, without some guy standing watching over your shoulder trying to push you up it so you can have a go on.
Well, no, credit to Activision, we didn't have that happen at Gamescom. We didn't. Like, we were, you know, in a nice little bit, and we got to play it, but we got to play, like, a game of multi-team deathmatch, and, you know, you're sat there and you don't really get time to play around with the Pick 10 system because you're on a timer.
Yeah.
So...
when there's a timer in the corner, it's like, you have 5 minutes left to play our game.
No, not that kind of timer. Like, you know, 10 seconds before round starts kind of timer. Where it's like, hey, no, I'm not done. I'm not. Oh,
yeah,
I'm going into this with just a pistol.
Like, come on, don't start. I'm still working on things.
Yeah, there's a bird. I'm looking forward to it, and it's not because it's a Call of Duty game. It's because it's what they're trying to do with the FPS genre. Like, they're mixing things up. I know people are going to be like, but it's Call of Duty, it's a terrible thing. Like, the Pick 10 system hasn't been done before.
They are innovating.
Yes, that hasn't been done before. Like, the ability for you to drop your secondary weapon if you don't want it and take something else. Like, you know, most shooters have always been, you will have your primary, you'll have your backup weapon, etc., etc. You can drop anything you want and take something else that you will use.
Do that in the last Call?
No, you couldn't.
You could do that in Modern Warfare.
No, you couldn't.
Whatever secondary you wanted.
No.
No. This is a case of you can drop your secondary completely so that you can gain, like, extra grenades or a different perk or something. Like, you can say so that if you don't want, like, a secondary weapon, if you don't want a pistol, you don't have to take one, and instead you can...
So there's other games that have been done that before. Don't credit them with, like, innovating when all they've done is given it a tad.
I never said innovating, he did. Don't you
you
jump on me for that one.
I think you're giving them a bit more credit than they deserve.
No, because it's not just secondary weapon. This is complete customization over your entire loadout. A lot of them have had restrictions over you need to have X or Y to be able to actually go in.
You need a primary, you need a pistol, you need a grenade, you need a tactical item.
Good reason for that, which we'll probably find out when it goes live.
This is the thing, but yeah, that's the thing. I want to test this system.
Really badly,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not thinking
a silly little, like a really fast fire, something like a Mac 10 and grenades, all the grenades forever.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing I was saying. Though. I wasn't saying that this system is, you know, the second coming of Christ.
It's
interesting.
I'm saying that I want to
see what
that's
works.
the thing. It has potential. I want to sit down and I want to pick this entire system apart and play with it and see what I can do with it. Because that in an FPS seems like so fantastic. Because I don't like using a secondary weapon, you know. I just like having a little SMG and being able to
run around really fast.
Do my thing. So I would just literally drop my grenades, I'd drop my secondary, I'd take the pistol, I'd make sure I'd take the SMG, I'd make sure that I had, you know, a couple of extra clips or whatever the perk system will allow me to do. And I just have this one gun. And when I'm out of bullets in that one gun, that's it, you know. But I would be able to have my I will have my character the way I want it, rather than having to, like, take stuff that I don't use. Because I had that a lot in Modern Warfare and Battlefield. Like, there hasn't been a shooter for a very long time where I have felt like I was playing a class that I truly enjoyed.
Class, quote unquote.
Yeah, because I feel like I've now been programmed to use the word class, whereas this time I will be playing a character that I have created that I want.
Yeah.
Because everything else normally falls into a standard. This I can go with no primary weapon if I really want to, I believe. So I could run around with just a pistol and just be like, no. And I could RP it. I could just walk around everywhere and just be like, yo, bang.
You can be Chris Redfield.
Yeah. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
You'll have to tell me all about it,
you know,
so I know whether to buy it or not.
Yeah. It will probably suck. I'm going to say, like, I'm not holding out that it's going to be the greatest game ever, but it will probably suck. But I guarantee that I will get some enjoyment out of it, unless they've done things horribly wrong. And that's all I want. That's all I ever want.
You'll probably get a bit of enjoyment out of it till the mass market figures out the most optimum weapons to take and most optimum while everybody's still trying different things out. When the game's still
credit to Treyarch. I have faith in them as a developer. Like, Black Ops 1 I liked, and Black Ops 1 I enjoyed playing, more so than the Modern Warfares. And so I have faith that they will actually do this right.
We'll see.
It's all a case of we'll see.
It's one that I'm watching, and that's quite a weird thing to say. I'm watching the next Modern War. I'm watching the next Call of Duty game. Like, I know what you're typing. Stop that.
I need to get a quieter keyboard.
You're about to type and say we're out of footage.
Yeah, we'll be shortly.
Yeah. So, okay, is there anything else you want to say quickly before we wrap up? Do you want to mention when the next NS2 event is?
Yeah, Saturday, next Saturday, 8 PM GMT, because we're back on actually normal times. The clocks went back. I think I mentioned that last week. But yeah, 8 PM GMT on Ventrilo, which the details are on the Steam community for.
Cool. Surge, before we go, I want to mention to you that we will probably, me and you, will probably be doing a Fallen Enchantress video and a King's Bounty.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the fantasy time sinks. Yep. You're welcome to them.
Yes, and I also want to mention quickly before we disappear off that the weekend deal on Steam is Dark Souls. It's only 33% off, but hell, it's Dark Souls.
If you haven't given it a go,
awesome.
give it a go. That is my recommendation.
That game disappointed me with the multiplayer. Also, I've got hiccups now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have problems with the multiplayer, but yeah, we could sit here and talk about that all night. We don't.
We could talk about this till the cows come home.
We've already talked about it till the cows come home. Yeah.
So I will send out next week. I want to talk about Starforge. As we didn't get time, and I have lots I can say about that. I'm sure you guys do as well, or you will do by next week if you haven't already.
Yep.
So, if you have any questions, queries, or comments, leave them where, Serge?
Over there, in that, down there by the cliff. Nah, just...
Yeah, you're pointing in a video where you're not able to
yeah,
see.
You can see my hand
I was just sat there shaking my head thinking, they can't see you.
Even below. Go on, just the usual. Below there.
Below works. And of course, from myself, Xander, and Serge, do you have anything else to say before we go?
I'm done.
Cookies are delicious.
Fantastic. We will catch you for the next video.
In a while.
Good night.